a very good afternoon and greeting for an hour, whoever there. My name is Bharat Sunam. I'm a HR professional and I've been working in HR since 6 to 7 years. I've been born and brought up in Mumbai. My education background comes from Mumbai and my master's in HR from Singapore. So currently I'm associated in Nepal with one of the MNC multinational companies as an HR manager, and we take care of like 800 to 900 employees as of now. And apart from the HR, I am into trainings. I am a freelance trainer plus into academics. I have been teaching with Slington College, ISMT, and currently with White House College as a part-time lecturer. Now let's getting back to the topic. If you see my first quote, that is HR as a leader, you have to first, what is human resource? We human resource, for example, I'm operating this laptop and it's not working, I can just bang them. But if I'm working with people like you, can I bang you? You know, this can be technically managed, but people, we human people are full of emotions. We get happy, we get low, we get excited, we feel low. I guess there's echo. So Jack Welch has told clearly that you as leader must be the top human resource leader. What you have to do? You have to win people. Then only you will be a true leader. The followers will be emerging. You don't have to say anything. The followers will be emerging. You have to be true leader if you win the people. Now the term human HR, now in short it's called HR, that is human resource, and we consider as a human resource capital. Now let's understand what is the basic concept of HR, because what I feel is that people have a lot of confusion with the term HR. You know, when there's an interview, they know the importance. When there's a salary, they know the importance. But HR role is very vast, what people have assumed. In the coming few decades, the role of HR and the importance has been emerging. Earlier, it was limited to the administration. Now, HR has linked their goals with the business goals. For as you, every one of you are entrepreneurs. What do entrepreneur means? You need 3 M's, right? One is money, the first thing, the finance. You need investment. Second, raw material. To generate any kind of product, you need raw materials. And the last is manpower. And where our function is manpower. Just imagine you have a good factory, you investment lot, but you don't have good people to run. Can you be successful as an entrepreneur? You're paying your employees very well and you're not able to motivate them. Will they stay with you? See the concept of now what is. Earlier, to get a job was very difficult. But now we are into a digital revolution. People have been more qualified, more educated. They can choose their job. If as an entrepreneur, if you fail to motivate your employee and you fail to give him the potential he have, he will fail to retain with you. And he will join some other company, because we are in the world of employee empowerment as of now. So these 3 M's are equally important, but my focus as of now is the last M, that is manpower. I invest so much in this building, construction. I've made a very beautiful office, but when I chip into this office, I don't have people to greet me. I don't have people who run the business. You're getting me? So that is where our role, HR role, has been emerged. What we do basically, we understand the company's requirement, the behavioral approach. You know, I'm technically, if I'm as an employee, I'm technically very strong, but I don't know the basic etiquettes to deal with a person. So I will be fail as a company. Now let's understand the basic meaning of HR. Human resource management is also a function of management concerned with hiring, motivating, and maintaining people in an organization. See how the role of that start. Right from the hire, they hire people, they look into various aspects, your qualification, your academics, your experience, the person you are. Will you be, they are the one who judge you, will you be a asset to the company or a liability? For example, what happens if I hire an employee, he's not giving me a productivity, he is a liability to the company, I'm just paying in salary. But if I hire and he's giving me productivity, he's an asset to the company. And that is called the human asset term comes. It focuses on people, for the people, by the people, and for the people. Every department have an objective. For example, finance department have an objective, right? Why they are running? To provide financial needs of the company, to understand the financial and what condition they are into financially, whether they are strong or not. What's the objective of salesman? To sell products. And now, what is the objective of HR department? Let's understand. Company have a great vision. Now what I'll do is that I'm opening a branch, for example, in like Siddharth Bank, for example, they have, but they don't have a good branch manager there. You getting me? Who don't have a good branch manager, who are not well trained. You know, now for example, you go to a 5-star hotel, they don't sell you products, they sell you service, right? The moment you come in, right from the security, see how they greet you. They're providing you 5-star service, not 5-star product. They're not selling you any product. And the right from you have an image, oh, I have come to a 5-star hotel, right? So it helps in organizing, well trained. Now people need to be groomed how to do a job. You know, freshers, how is the corporate culture, how to technically, the trainings provided by them, motivate employees. For example, if you have seen, if you go to a shop, any shop, and the salesman sometimes, he's not in a mood to give you anything. He will, if you want, you take, and you don't like that attitude. But if the employee of that shop is highly motivated, he will tell you, sir, please come, have a seat. You know, he will be what he's trying to sell you the product, and finally the productivity of the company is higher because the employee is motivated. See, for example, you go to any showroom to buy any kind of product, the employee is highly motivated, he likes his job, this is his passion, and he will tell you, please come ma'am, sit, this is if you just walk into something and you tell them, if you, whatever you choose and get, will you buy that? No. Employ the skills and knowledge of the employee efficiently and effectively, enhance job satisfaction and self-actualization. What does it mean by self-actualization? See, I have a lot of potential, but my company is underutilizing me. That means my potential is not fully used. I am not satisfied with my job. And what happens? Attrition. Attrition is a term wherein the employees of the company, they leave. That is called attrition. Okay. So what does, if for example I am an MBA and I am working for a company, I am working as a cashier, are they utilizing my potential? No. So that means I am capable of doing that. Who will recognize? HR will recognize what is his actual potential, giving him a platform. Okay. Establish and maintaining productive, self-respecting and internal satisfaction, working relationship among all the members. From the morning you work, right? From 8:39, you get up at 7, you get ready. How much time you spend with your family? Maximum time you spend in office. Once you go back home, you have dinner, you are tired and you sleep. See your maximum. If your relationship with your co-workers, with your boss, with your juniors, with your seniors, stakeholders are not good, will you feel that to work with that company? Every hour, every minute will kill you if you don't like that. Sometimes you have your favorite dish, the moment it topped on the plate, you finish it up. And something you don't like, your mom is forcing you and you just, winding your spoon and having slowly, because you cannot eat that. That is not you like. Right? And all employees. Now what happens is that if I hire someone and I tell them I pay you 1 lakh, but I am abusing him every day, will he stay with me? No. Because he is seeking respect. He is qualified. And who take care of these things? We take care as an HR professional. Bring out maximum development. Development, one of the major aspects. HR organizes training and development. The training and development are two different terms. What is training? For example, you have been hired to perform a particular job. We will give you training, Excel training, Microsoft training, or any aspect to operate that thing. What is development? For example, now you joined somewhere as an intern. Now you look what's next, officer. Then what next? That is meant your development. After working in 10 years in a company, you just want to be an intern? No. Where's your development? Either you are a leader, decision maker, or anything. What you have learned? Nothing. So that is development. Development is providing training and leadership for the future. Maintain and develop quality work life. What is work? You always stress with your work. You know, quality of work life. What is work life? Always stress. Going home, you stress. There is no balance. Have you heard the word called work-life balance? Anyone? Work-life balance? What happens is that, see, our human brain is such, it remembers all the things which we are meant to forget, and it pokes you which we are meant to forget. So what happens in that is that after viewers, your boss, he took my class today and I'm stressed. You know, there's no work-life balance. Every time you're getting called when you're with a family, you're stressed. So what as in HR, they try to maintain the work-life balance. I think maintain high moral and good human relation within the organization. Help maintain ethical policies, behavior inside and outside. Definitely. What we do, we frame policies, rules, regulation. You know, there are different kinds. There are timing policies, there are behavioral policies, there are like sexual harassment policy. These policies are for the safeguard of the employees. We make sure if girl has been harassed by his boss or something, sexually or verbally, we take care of that. What is the process? The approach to HR. And we try to maintain also the same ethical behavior. For example, she's my favorite and I'm favoring her. That is not ethical. Getting me? So we make sure that he is deserving, so better I give him an opportunity. To recognize, satisfy individual needs and group goals by appropriate monitoring and non-monitoring incentives. To manage a change to mutual advantage of individual. Okay. Now what incentives is? For example, there are 3 people. One is very high performer, one is medium, and one is low performer. Do you feel that 3 of them should get the same incentive? 3 are there. One A is very high performer, B is medium, and the last one is low performer. Do you feel it will be justified? No. So we make them justified, recognizing the potential and the performance. Now coming to functions of HR. Now you have seen the objective. Objective is clear to everyone? Any doubt? Okay.
The 9 numbers are monitoring and non-monitoring intensive. Do you mean financial intensive, financial and non-financial?
Yes. See, what happens is that, my friend, understand that incentive can be monetary and non-monetary as well. For example, you make a sale of 50,000 and the company provide you 10% incentive, for example 5,000, that is monetary, but that always doesn't work. I give you non-monetary incentives, I give you vacation, I give you paid leave, I boost your confidence, I send you for higher management responsibilities, I give you promotion. Getting me? Both are incentive working. You're getting me? Both are working. Some people might not always work for money, they work for research. See, we have to understand the concept, job oriented and career oriented. Job, if you walk in and so on, the security is also doing a job, but he is not career oriented. Career oriented, we start with small, but we aim for high. That is career oriented. Our career goals. What I want to do in HR, what I want to do in IT, that is my career goal. Now functions. Now basic functions of accounts and finance. Payment received, payment gone, right? Now there are different functions of HR. This bin I have categorized in two. First is managerial function, okay, and second is operative function. So now in managerial function, what HR do is that they do a planning. This is a basic management function, planning. If I want to aim something, the first stage is plan. How many human resource I'll be requiring for this new project, what kind of training to be given to them, what kind of my business goals are, so that is come in the planning stage. Second, organizing. Now I have planned everything, I have to now organize. I have to set up the things to make it run. I have to provide the valuables to the thing. And the third is directing. Now you have planned, you have organized, now you have to direct them. In which direction what your company is aiming, in which direction you should go. And the last is very important, is controlling. Controlling, basically what happens, every time it's not possible that what I have planned, it will be 100%. But controlling help us to measure our performance. This is what I planned, and this is what I have to control. This is not. If that is not matching as per the planned performance, then what are the corrective action? Now coming to operative function. Now I have to elaborate this. First is recruitment. Now we have seen a lot of ads, news, Mero job and other websites we pops in. This is vacancy and why is recruitment important? For any organization, if I'm expanding my business, I have to definitely expand my manpower. I'm opening a branch in one of the state. That won't only help me, but I have also recruit people to work, perform that. That is called recruitment. Basically, what is a recruitment? Recruitment is a process inviting applicants for that suitable job. And is in HR. What we do, we manage that recruitment. How the recruitment takes place in the first place is that, first, there are two types of recruitment. One is new, one is replacement. For example, I'm having a new project. I need new applicant, that is for new. I'm hiring new employees. But for example, one of my employees resigned to fill that vacancy, that is called replacement position. Then in both cases, what we do is that in recruitment, we do a manpower planning. Manpower planning means as per the project, we forecast how many manpower we require. Because that is very essential. If there is no right manpower planning, it might cost you, right? There will be not, if the work is very high and the people are less, it will be again a problem. If the work is low and people are more, again, so what is manpower planning? Basically, if for example, I am setting up a bank, how many branch managers are required? Only one, logically one, right? Maybe then after that, how many assistant managers are required? I'll plan in this way. Under that, how many cashiers, how many counters I have. Under that, how many clerks I need. And to manage everything, how many housekeeping staff I need, how many security I need, and how many shift I want them to work. Then after few months, as per the business operations, maybe I have to reduce, I have to increase. In both the cases. So that is the recruitment should be in the right place. The basic objective of recruitment is placing the right people at the right place. You are an account guy, you are very good, but just for the sake of job, I am putting you in IT. No, I am doing injustice. You will not able to perform. You getting me? So this is how recruitment. Normally all the available jobs are on the website, still on the newspapers as well. We invite all the applicants who are interested in particular position. what are the job specification is that what kind of people we are looking for. For example, we are looking someone with a minimum 5 years experience, we mentioned that, with so and so qualification, we mentioned that. Then during interview now, how we take the interview, we understand everything, his psychological nature, you know, how much he's interested, his attitude, learning attitude, you know, how much he can be adjusted in our environment. Getting me? So we see everything. Then finally, after the interview, if we select someone, we negotiate with him. How much expectation of salary he have, how much as per the company policy we can offer him, you know. And then we take all the documentation. Then what we do, we take him on board. Once we take him on board, we do a orientation about company procedures, policies. We make them familiar with the people around them and their job responsibility. And that's when the recruitment process ends. Next, training and development. There are different kind of training. First of all, mostly the training has been categorized into two major aspects. First is technical. For example, operating any machines or any kind of system, that is called technical. And second is behavior. What do you mean by behavior? Now in behavior training, what are the things come? Like communication, leadership, manager skills, etiquettes. Because see, being just technically strong, that doesn't fulfill his requirement. He's very rude, aggressive with the clients. The client won't like him. He will no boss, you career development, whether if there is no head of the department where the manager can take a decision, what are the things need to be taken care? Decision making, leadership, what are the, in these areas we need to develop him for the senior position, that is called development. Next, remuneration, salary. We manage salary. How we manage salary? We take the attendance every month. We extract the data from the attendance. The company provides certain leaves to the employees in the whole year. Maybe it's different, 30, 40. And if it goes, then with that, we manage his salary. That is also called compensation and benefits. Now there are two different terms. Have you heard about perks or fringe benefits like this? For example, you get a basic salary of 50,000 or 60,000. But what are the benefits you are getting? You are getting fuel allowance, you are getting transport allowance, you are getting lunch allowance, you are getting your mobile. So these are the called benefits. And the remuneration is one of the important aspects, because we have to design the salary so that we maintain the company policy and we satisfy the employee as well. And what are the parameters while designing what is his education background is, how much experience he have, what is the expertise, how much productivity he is giving to the company, how important that person is, what are the market standard for certain position. So this comes under remuneration. Reward system, very important. Maybe in the terms of, I just give an example, maybe in the terms of monetary, maybe in the terms of appreciation. So there's a term called employee recognition, wherein we have to see what happens is that if you're doing something good, I have to acknowledge you are very important to me. That adds more than your monetary value. For example, you go home today and give a rose to your mom that cost you 30 rupees, but you just give her 30 rupees. Which will value add more? So this is how it is. Reward system, employer recognition. What HR do? They appreciate the people who are really working hard to the core. It sometimes we feel good, someone just help us and he's working hard and thank you boss, you're doing great job. So this comes under reward system. Next, motivation, one of the very important, and as an entrepreneur very important for you. You know why? You are in a position, you are starting something new, you have big dreams, but your company is not. The people for an entrepreneur to maintain that motivation. If the highly motivated, what happens? He gives you more productivity. The trust factor is more, right? What happens when we give, if tomorrow is some lecture we don't like and we have to forcefully get up. Tomorrow is a class and we in the tension, but tomorrow is a picnic, whole night we cannot sleep. That is motivation. We call them and check clocks. What is the time? And in 5 minutes we get up, every 5 minutes to check. And we planned everything, right from what to wear, what not to wear, who are all the people. See, that is a motivation. You don't sleep whole night and still you're able to get up. That is motivation, right? Same way. What you're doing is the same thing, you're doing more effectively, more efficiently, more productivity. I just give an example. You go to any restaurant, some people, just sir, please come in, please have a seat. He's highly motivated, he's trying to sell you everything. And sometimes you walk to someone's shop and you see the face of that guy. It's like, he does not paid today. His salary has not been given and he's frustrated. And you ask him, can you show me that? Just have a look. He's not motivated, he's not selling you. And when he's highly motivated, he's selling you. The passion he's connecting with you. See, in our life, we need motivation every day. Because what we are see, what happens is that nowadays, we are in such a stress, the work life is such a stress. We are not motivated, we are not able to perform. What happens in a sports, when there is a racing, everyone cheers, come on, you can do it, come on, you can do it. And what happens? Internal also you get okay, I can do it, Anyone joining gym in the first day, how it goes? Come on, you look at the six pack and you start gymming. And after a few days you just, okay, let me cool down for some days. That is motivation. Saturday morning, if we have off, we don't intend to, we get up early. And other days, we don't. Because it's our day. Employee motivation is very important, and that is where the HR plays an important role. They understand how to motivate them. Any training programs, any engagement activity. Today your boss has been take a class of yours and you just go to them and you talk to a friend, I just want to leave that job. The company is, worse. And you are not motivated. And you are not motivated affects your productivity. Records and statistics. What do you mean? Basically, a status is numerical records. What is HR? One of the important functions they do, they maintain records of employees. How many numbers they are, how many people are in the office, how many are out, how many at the project. If I want to see, if the company asks me how many employees we have, so they keep all the records. Industrial relation, very important, but industrial, have you heard about unions? You know, if you, all the workers, especially in the lower management, they have unions. Unions means they have an association of that professional, and whatever happens is passed through the union. And you know, sometimes what the HR do? They have to maintain this industrial relation. There is no increment in the salary, the company will shut down. They will go on strike. You know, labor unions, and they are the people you cannot deal with, because they are just aimed for that money aspects. So that is one of the important functions in industrial. And separation. When the employee is leaving, the best day of his life, and he thinks he's the king, what we do, in separation we take exit interview, HR. Basically what happens in that interview, we ask the employees what went wrong, whether he's opting for further studies, abroad job, and we try to analyze why this is happening, what is company lacking to provide him, which we cannot provide, if that company can provide. That is called separation, doing all the formalities. Any doubt so far? Any doubt? Okay, thank you. Now see, as I told you, the HR is the most underrated term. To be very frank, they have been always seen as a support function. But in the few decades, it emerged so strongly. They understood the importance of HR. I cannot just pay you, I have to respect you, I have to motivate you. That is where the HR role comes. You know. And now the company goal, now business goals can be linked to the marketing directly, but HR is also linked directly to the company's goal. And how it is linked? See, how does the HR normally functions? And what is the process? If you see, what are the inputs? For example, if I tell you, I want a book. What do you give me input? The wood, you know, the raw materials. Processing, it will go into factory, it will get manufactured. Output, it will give you sales. But if you see here in the terms, how the model of HR works. What is the input? Human energy, the efforts we put. Organization plan, HR inventories, job analysis. A security guard salary and the head of the department is the same. There's a difference. Because what does the job analysis do? We as an HR, we analyze how much the job is worth of. You know, doctor salary is different, engineer salary. As an HR, what we do in the company? If the assistant is there, he should be this, is a manager this, we analyze. So what are the inputs in the system model of HRM? First is human energies, motivation, his competencies, everything is input. What is the processing? I have seen a vision. What I do, acquisition. Acquisition means acquire. That means recruit that talent. Then develop them. You know, train them, develop them. And then utilize them. Utilize the full potential of that person. And maintain them. For example, I'm just, you're doing a great job. And tomorrow, I don't want to see it. No, you have to maintain that. So that her productivity, your productivity is maintained. This is called process. And what the output it gives? Goal achievement. If my company's goal is to at least have 1 million, 2 million this year, who will put the company itself and the manpower will put that effort to achieve that goal? That is called goal achievement. Quality of work life, which I mentioned. Productivity. Readiness for change. Why readiness for the change? We are in the phase of digital revolution. We see iPhone 6, 7, 8, 10. I guess it's been changing. Technology update. And people are resistant to change. You know, if we are in our bedroom, we don't want to get out of bed because we don't like change, much changes. But what in HR train people? What are the things are coming in? They train people. Resistant to personal. And HR plays an important part in the personal. You have commitment, You commit because you're motivated. Commitment is there. Competence. The skills. Competence means skills and conjurance. That is peace. Conjurance and peace. So this is the output which HR gives. What are the inputs, process, and then the outputs. Any question in this? Anything?
How to maintain the quality of work life?
Okay. Now, see, now we have to understand that we are in, in a world where everything is stressed. To be very frank, the technology, our mobile rings, and if we're having something, we have to pick up the phone. Yes, boss. I was thinking about you only, and once you cut off this, he calls me every day. Why don't he just switch off? So see, what happens is that we are stressed, well dressed, yes, depressed. Getting me? Because we are more, what we are trying to do is that we are trying to prove ourselves. We are not trying to improve ourselves. The aim should be improve ourselves. The materialist thing will give you quantity. iPhone 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. But it gives you don't quality. That is the difference. What the quality means, transactional, is not transactional, it's transformational. That doesn't mean you're wearing today this and tomorrow you're wearing suit with some branded. That is transactional, just for transformation. As a person you improve. As a person you maintain that. And the company helps you to maintain. See, many company, if in the bank there's a system, forced leave, if you heard about, they forcefully ask you to take leave because they want you to relieve yourself. If you just go to the bank, how much stress? Because stress is there. 100 rupees note is gone. Then you have to settle the accounts by yourself, and you may see how stressed. And you're just the cash counter, and the people are always in the hurry. I don't know why. They always want to, my car is parked, my bike is parked, I have to go to hospital, and they're always in a hurry. And the guy is sitting right back of that counter, how much stress he might be? 50,000 taken, 1 lakh given, 1 then given. See, stress, we cannot. So what we are basically trying to do, we are running in a materialistic thing. And the HR concept, now what we have done into a lot of fun activities for the employees. We organize events, we organize yoga sessions, meditation. In fact, in our office, we have a meditation hall. And every Monday and Thursday, we have to go to meditation because we have to relieve the stress, at least for 1 hour. So that has been organized by HR. They organize the events to stress-free them, maintain the quality. If there is a problem between the boss and the supervisor, they try to solve it. They make sure the boss is not biased, and the HR have full right. So basically understand the concept. Don't try to prove yourself. Improve yourself. Understand what are your mistakes. Okay. Clear? The first, okay. Now moving to the HR role. The role of human resource. See, as I mentioned already, the role has been changed. There's a difference. Have you heard about personal management?
Personal management.
What is a personal means? Personnel.
Personal.
If I tell you your company personal means you are the employee of the company. Now, what happens, how the HR concept came is that if I cannot that. Personal management was limited. Find me for records and keep it. Rest, whether she has been settled in the job, she needs some training, some guidance. Personal management doesn't care. But what happens when he's in HR? I brief her about the company, the job role, and after a few months I take her feedback. First, organizational structure. What is the structure means? Organogram. Have you heard about organogram? If you see the organizational structure, who reports to whom? A manager reporting to GM, GM reporting to HOD. This is called organization structure, basically. That is been developed and maintained by HR. Workforce and succession planning. Workforce and succession planning. Workforce means what? Workforce is basically the employees, okay? Now, what we are doing is that different projects, for example, the site is getting closed, the project is going. So we take the people and put into the new project. This is workforce. Now, what do you mean by succession planning? Have you heard about this term, succession planning? Okay, succession planning is developing the future managers or future leaders. See, if my boss is there, next 5 years, I will be always try to reach that position, right? My boss will always, he will also aim for next position. What next? Right? But for as a manager, do I have the capabilities for that position, for that role? So the succession planning is developing future leaders. That's what we do. We train them in a way they have leadership skills, they have managerial skills, they have communication skills, they have decision making skills. So the term is called succession planning, developing future leaders. So we can, if in case we have a big project, we can recruit from internally. And it will give them the essence that the company is doing, developing them. They have been developing in other aspect also, not in the terms of only for the work. He's been developed in the other terms. Organizational learning and development. Learning and development, wherein this is a term, this is for the future term. What happens in learning and development means making people learn and develop them. That is called L&D. Training and development is for the current requirement. Learning and development is for the future. It might not have an impact currently. If I give you a leadership training now, you might not be effective now, but for the future aspects, because I'm trying to develop you for the future. That is called learning and development. You go to the college, it won't give you right results, but it will develop you, learn and develop for the future thing. For example, training and development, you go to the Excel training and you can impact right away. But in the learning and development, it will help you for the future aspects. Performance management. I have just mentioned, but let me elaborate. Performance management is one of the key function and key role of HR nowadays. Why? Because just think, you have been really working hard for your exams, and you know very well that you are at least going to score not less than 80%. Your basic expectation after you working hard and you see your result and you get fail, you get flunk. Will you be satisfied? No. Same way, what is the performance management is that I've been managing the performance of all the employees. For example, what happens is that before new fiscal year, I have to give you some targets. If I hired you, what are the performance I'm expecting from you? Okay. So what I'll be doing is that, Mr. X, you have been hired, these are your key responsibilities. Now what happens at the performance term appraisal means at the end of the year, the boss evaluates the performance of the employee and tell them how much he have achieved, what are the things he cannot achieve, what are the corrective action to be taken to achieve that, what are the trainings he is required, what are the areas of development he requires. You getting me? This is our evaluation, his performance, and on that evaluation basis, he gets increment, that is salary increase, promotions, if he has done really well. So this is, all these aspects comes under performance management system. Because you communicate to your company via HR. What HR do? We are the felicitator. We felicitate the process. And we understand now for the next year, can we give you some higher responsibilities? Can we give you some higher decisions, some authority? Because your report card, basically performance management is give you a yearly report card, how much you perform in the company. Employee engagement. What do you mean by engagement? Now, for example, I'm here, I'm taking a class, HR class, and you've been involved, you're listening to me. And when you start interacting with me, that means you're engaged. Right? Now, the basic term of employee engagement concept is to engage employees to their work, via different activities. For example, what we have done is that we have introduced a concept called Fun Friday. So what happens on every Friday, we have a bunch of employees and we do some activities which will engage them. What will happen? Good relationship bonding with others. If you go picnic and you don't know a college mate, you start talking to them, you are engaged. And engagement activities may be sports events, for example, futsal. Now we are keeping a futsal. So people will be engaged. And during Dasai, Diwali, we have other activities. So these are all the programs we try to engage them. In school, in college school, we have ECA, extracurricular activities. The same way we do, because what we understand, after people getting into office, they are only focused and loaded with that. They don't try to follow their passion. And they feel stressed, they feel demotivated. So what we basically try to do, we try to engage them. Then different companies have events, musical events. So these are the engagement activities what HR do. Any issue in this? Okay. See, now what happens? HR differs. The function of HR remains the same, but it differs context to different countries, different culture. Right? Maybe the function is same, but the environment. Now let's focus on what kind of environment forces we deal into. What are the environment? For example, if a sales and marketing guy is there, he's go in the market, for example, New Road. The environment here is like bit posh. People will be able to buy this mobile phone. They know the technology. This is the business environment for them. If the same guy go to some interior part of Nepal, will that able to, the business environment there is different, right? So this is called environment. So for same way, in HR, there are different environment which we get affected. The HR concept gets affected. Like in US, the environment of HR is so strong. They have been developed, but in Nepal is still developing, and they have understood the importance of HR. Like for example, as per the statistics, many of the high national, like Surya Nepal, it's one of the brand company, Encel, the head, Chaudhary Group, all the HR heads from different company, from different nation. In fact, the Surya head was Debashish, he's from India, because we don't have in Nepal that HR professionals. Then Encel, there was some from other national. One was, and in the last was VP HR in Chaudhary Group, he was from Korea, I guess. So see, so that is Imran. Now in Kathmandu we have KFC, we have Pizza Hut. You like, you enjoy, you go with your friends. If you go same to the environment, business environment suitable for Kathmandu, not for other places. So that is environment talking about. Moving on, what are how we get, if I'm telling you what is the business environment, there's a strike, the shops, see this is an environment, to be very frank. So what are the environmental forces? One is external, one is internal. What influences HR? Political, legal. Political means different kind of politics are engaged, like for references, the political scenario of any country. Like in Singapore, when I was working there, there is a ministry called Manpower Ministry. In India, there is a Human Resource Development Ministry, but in Nepal we don't have. It's under development, I feel. But these are the political things which we face, and the legal. Now why legal? Why these are the forces? Why these are the environment? As per the legal, there are some basic things. Minimum wage. If a person works with me, at least I have to pay so and so amount. I have to register him or her. I have to take all the documents. I have to issue her a PAN card, a salary certificate. I have to provide a provident fund, CIT, Citizen Investment Fund. These are the legal obligations. You cannot work at the same time. That is also legal obligation. As per the rule, the standard working hours are 8 hours, right? You cannot, and if there's a overtime, it should be only 2 hours, but people go to up to 12 hours. And as per the rule, what happens is that you cannot open office until unless there is other factors and all before 8:39. So these are the legal boundaries. You have to be registered, company registered. If you have more than 20 employees in your company, then you should be registered in Provident Fund. These are the legal obligation. You cannot just fire an employee like that. You have to justify that. He or she can take a legal action against you. So these are called legal. These are the HR environments we work into. Technological. I train them, my employees, for certain software. Now the software have been upgraded. New technology has come. So what is this? Is the environment. Now maybe in other developed countries, the manpower will be more faster operating, but still in a context to Nepal, we have people who still don't know how to use computers. And there's a technological environment boosting. Now what next? Computers has come, laptops has come, iPad has come. So there's a technological revolution, digital revolution. Culture. What do you mean by culture? The values, belief, the culture in see, I'll give you a very good example of KFC. Kentucky Fried Chicken is very famous. If you actually see the history, there is no term called veg in that. But when they launch in India, they have to introduce something in veg, because the culture, the majority were vegetarian. Can KFC do the business there? Culture, see how strong. In US, people call them by Mr. or the first name. Here, the culture is we have to call them sir or madam. The culture. See what happens now. People have been in Nepal. Like few years back, you cannot shake hand with a woman. You have to say namaste. That is the culture. You cannot ask women, like you cannot be too friendly with them. There's a culture aspect. The people, the values, norms are reserved, especially in Kathmandu, the local people. So that is one of the economic. Now economic means what? Monetary term. What is the business? If the company is getting more projects, the financial status is good. It is also hampering the HR, the economic, the market, how the market is. This is external. Like coming to internal, unions, environment, unions, trade unions, labor unions, which HR have to deal with, strategy, task and leadership. See, one of the challenge, what I feel is aligning the strategy. You have seen a vision, but you need the same team to see the same vision, right? But what happens? You have seen the leadership lacks. So you're not able to make them see the vision, the mission of your company. Organizational culture and conflicts. Conflict is everywhere. To be very frank, at our home, we fight with our siblings. We love them. We fight with them. What happens? Difference of opinion. If I ask you to do this, you are not okay with that. There will be a conflict. Right? We are not going. There are different partners. Many of the business run by the partners, they dissolve very fast. They have more partners because there's a conflict in decision making, in planning, in understanding. So organize a conflict and culture. Professional bodies. Now what is professional body? INGOs, NGOs, who interfere normally, like they are because if, for example, there's no, if the pay to the women is not equal, some of the women's lead or some women organization will hamper us. We are not paying them. We are discriminating. You getting me? For example, for certain caste, if the job is not provided, then the scheduled caste people will come. We are discriminating. These are the environments of HR. We are highly influenced by these factors, this environment. Connecting the same, we have challenges in our life every day. See, if there is no challenge, we cannot. If we don't have the mountain in front of us, how can we climb? And how can the passion, if there's a challenge, there's an opportunity. But definitely there's a huge challenge for HR in context of Nepal. Now, what are the basic challenges in context? Now, what are the barriers? Now, coming specifically to Nepal, context in Nepal. As per my research and as per what I found on the internet, HR in Nepal consists of human energies. My work should get it done by hook or crook. For example, what happens is that if I had someone, I ask him, how are you feeling today? He's not feeling well. And I just asking him, you have to do this job anyhow. What he'll do, he will do for the heck of it, for the finishing of it, not by heart, not by passion. But in context to Nepal, what happens is that they are more considered. They don't, for example, I see her, she's not well, whether she can do work today or not. I concern with her, she feel okay. My boss is concerning with me. He is after my goodwill. He's taking care of me. And the trust factor and the motivation factor immediately develops. Tomorrow she'll come fresh and she started working more. But here in context to Nepal, is because HR is still developing, because they just consider there's a human, it should be considered as a human asset, not as a liability. If I am hired, you have to definitely pay you salary. That is not a liability, that is an investment. Our parents, they invest so much in our studies. They say it's a liability, they say it's an investment, because in future you'll get some returns. That is a basic aspect. It is least concerned with developing human competence and potential for growth. That is one of the things which I feel. They are not much open. For example, I feel this person has so much potential. If I train them on certain aspect, he will be a better leader, a better manager, or better employee. But in training, what is the investment is no more. He's been assigned to do that job, so he have to do that job and finish. It focuses on achieving organizational goal without much regard to personal goal. What is your personal goal? I want to be a manager. I want to be a good in communication. I should be a good in salary. Other aspects, your personal goal. But what happens as a company in context of Nepal, they are focused more into organization goal. What happens? They don't try to link the employee's goal to the company goal. When they don't link it, organization goal fulfill, but not the personal goal fulfill. As a is not assume a strategic role in Nepalese management. What do you mean a strategy? Anyone know? Any idea different or get the thing that is strategy. They still in context of Nepal, they think as a support function. For example, we need people, tell HR. They need salary, tell HR. But just think, if we as an HR don't recruit the best guys or well-trained guys, well-qualified guys, will it give a product to the company, productivity to the company? No. People are not considered as a source of competitive advantage and important asset, which I already mentioned in context of Nepal. That's the reason people are moving ahead in foreign countries. They have been taken care of, they're right from the family, they have security. They feel secure, boss, I am working, if tomorrow something happens, my company is looking after. Why people are preferred governmental job? Because for the one and the only reason, security. Life security. You get pension if something happens to you, But they don't go much into career aspect. There might be, I'm not telling there might not be. Now, context to, like for example, there's a clear vision to a finance department that you have to, you have to save this much money for this year. This is a vision and mission. For sales, you have to sell this kind of product in this kind of year. But for HR, still lacks a clear vision and mission. What is expected from HR? The attitude of top man are not favorable. That is the challenge. HRM is considered as a firefighting job to deal with abuse and discipline. Now, what is happening is that if there is some issue, then only they will recognize it. There was a case in Jet Airways back in 2009 or 8. They laid off more than 100 employees overnight. Just because the HR guy was absent and they laid off. You're getting me? How many people were against that? That lacks planning, right? You hired them, you showed them expectation. HRM, okay, line managers do not feel ownership of HRM. Basically, see, HRM is not with the HR guy, with the line managers. If I am a manager, not into HR, but I should feel importance. I'm just assigning her work, assigning you work, assigning you work. I'm not understanding the basic concept of HR, human skills. I have to keep in mind, you are a human. You get hurt, you get motivated, you get excited. Thousands of emotions run. When you get a job, you get emotion. You get your first salary, you get emotion. You get job, you get excited. And that is where dealing with the managers, they have to keep in mind. They don't feel that ownership. Lack of mutual trust between the labor and management. Multiplicity of unions, union challenges. Okay, one of the major challenges, unions. Can we do something about that? Because it's an association. They threaten you, and they have been getting support from this political. We will shut down. We'll go on strike. Threat, challenges. Unfortunately, the one more slide for the challenges in context to Nepal. Okay, HR aspects are not considered in policy and plan. Actually, it was not there before, but now they have started considering the HR policies which related to the human resource. Okay, as I mentioned, it's been remained as one of the low priority. I pay an employer 15,000. I don't look as per her growth. I just pay her, she do job and she finish. Legal framework has remained weak and largely welfare oriented. In context to Nepal, what has happened is that, as I mentioned, we don't have much strong policies in context of human resource. Wherein in Singapore they have Manpower Ministry. In India they have HRD Ministry. If you heard about Smriti Irani, she was the Ministry of. So all the related issues goes to them. But we in Nepal we don't have. So the law is not that strong. If you see, frankly, you tell me, in context to Nepal, in Kathmandu, the cost of living is high. And you know how much is the basic salary? Average salary, not more than 10 to 12,000. Even lesser than that. I've seen 8,000 also I've seen people. Does that match? It doesn't match because there's no proper strong law for the same. Many people are still working on minimum wage, that is 8,200 rupees. And if you go to a restaurant, it will minimum cost you 500 to 1,000. You take a cab, how much it will cost you? Not less than 500. And see the attitude of the people. Right? What happens is that HR is considered as a shortage. They don't see if I give them training, they will develop. They just want for the shortcomings, Okay. So anything in this you would like to ask?
As you have said, sir, HR is very weak in Nepal. I visited few factories, companies, and I found that there are no HR department. I asked them why, then the chairperson said that we hire people and if we do not like the work, if we do not like their work, we fire them, and we do not have any day left vacant for the seat, because automatically the seat will be packed, because there are many peoples to get the vacancy place, so we do not require any HR manager.
Yes, my friend. That is why you see, if I, for example, see if I give a training to her or you, I'm putting an investment on my time and I'm building a trust. You know, how the company will run if every week or every month I hire a new employee? What is the guarantee he'll give me productivity? You know, when HR person is that, he understands if this guy is not performing, what is the reason? You know, what is lacking? Motivation, training, some family issues, personal issues. You know, these are the aspects they understand. And then they send you for various motivations, various trainings, guidance. That is where the role of HR comes. You know, how much they will save investing for every month for a new employee. Is the employee will be loyal to that company, and for how long? That is, you know, it takes friends. If we normally, if we become friends with someone, can we make friend for one? Oh, you are my best friend from today. We met in the morning. No, you became best friend with the time, patience, the trust. You understand him, he understands you, and mutually you became best friend. You don't only say my best friend, he also says my best friend. You getting me? So there are two aspects. Any other question? Both of you? Sure? Okay. Now, the role of HR has been changed. The changing role of now, because people are more into multinational companies, you know, they have policies, procedures, and they have been managing different kind of people. So the role has been drastically changing from the operational to the more of the strategic role. If you see this slide, earlier the strategic role of an HR was only 15% of the entire role, and the operational, transactional operation role means salary, you know, administrative part, record, filing, everything. That is operational role. Issuing experience letter, all operational role. Wherein strategic role was only 15%. That means the contribution to the company's goal was only 10 to 15%. They were not fully involved. Now, it's been drastically changed, wherein the transactional operational is 40% and the rest 60% goes to the strategic way. Like, operation means the operational activity of an HR, paying the salary, attendance management, giving them the letters, documentation, that's it. But now HR strategy, that is comes on developing the culture of the organization, the values of the organization, making people educate, train them, develop them. You know, what kind of companies focusing for the next few years and align people with the company goal and bridge a gap between the company and the employee. You getting me? If you have any problem, you cannot just go to the company, CEO, I want to talk to you every day. No, you have other important works. That's where the HR role comes, right? And what is that strategically? He aligns the company, and what he does a balance between the employees and the company, wherein the employee's goal is also achieved and company's goal is also achieved, right? Then the people are motivated, the trust factor is there, the productivity is more and the people has been directly assigned to the company's goal, and it helps them to achieve the company. So that's where the role of strategic part is 60% now. Earlier it was only 15%. And the role of HR now has been divided into 4 strategic partners. First is strategic partner develops and aligns strategies with business. Assist line manager in solving organization, people and change related issue. contributes to management team strategic decision making, fosters system thinking, customer focused strategy. Okay, now and the strategy, he's now what is doing? What do you mean partner? Strategic partner, the role of HR has been changed. Means now they are solving the issues of the manager while they are facing to achieve the company goal. For example, now the change, there's a lot of change, digital revolution, the systems has been upgraded. So people are resistant to change. So help them to solve them, develop them, align the strategy with the business, which will help them to reach and expand the business. Change agent, understand the organizational culture and what is effective and ineffective in situational charge capability within the organization. Assist line managers to really facilitate the change. Okay, now change has been the way of doing something, the change. Like first, we are always hesitant to change. Like normally, if you see, Android user don't like iPhone user don't like Android, because we are hesitant to change. For example, my company is going in a different direction. They have never manufactured a certain product, for example, right? Now they are going for, they are manufactured only FMCG products. Now they are going into some electrical product. The people are hesitant to change. So now as a change, HR helps them to overcome that change and develop them as per the change. So that is the role of the change agent. Next is administrative expert, creates and delivers effective, efficient HR processes tailored to unique business need. What do you mean by tailored? Customize. For example, my business need is this now, so I have to customize, tailor made, that is called. So I have to customize that and make sure that requirements fulfill. Manages people and HR related cost, ensures internal external customer focus. Who are the customer for HR? The employees. They are there to cater service to the employees, that is their clients. Employee champion. Now employee champion means, you know what? Now normally at home, what we do, if you have any issues, we have one best friend or mother or sister or elder, today this is what happened, and he will always guide you. So same way HR does, advocate, guidance, if they have some issues, some problems. So that is employee. Develop strategies, helps implement, help workplace commitment, ensures fair, ethical, equitable process. Means the guidance, employee champion, the guidance provided to them, advocate them. So these are the roles of HR has been lately changed. Just 10 more slides more. So now we have almost to the end. If you have any questions, I think if they have some questions.
So if there's any question, please feel free to ask.
Anything you didn't get it or something. See, the thing is that as an HR, what I feel now, you guys are entrepreneurs. You have a risk with the people. See, monetary risk can be managed. People risk cannot be managed. If anything you have, you can please. At the last quote I've read, great vision without great people is impossible. It's irrelevant. You are seeing something, you're investing something, but you don't have that kind of people. Will you be successful? No. You have any questions?
Any questions? Peter, do we have any questions? Hello, Peter? Any questions?
Ask something. Anything in the slide you get confused or anything?
So do
Please.
not be afraid to ask,
Please. I'm here too.
The HR manager and line manager, how do they get different in works? Because all the works you said to be done by HR manager are already been done in many companies by the line manager.
Okay.
They manages all the employees under their category.
Okay.
And there are many line managers for every sectors. But HR manager, I think HR manager manages all the employees, or are there HR department for every sector?
See, HR caters service to all the employees, right from the CEO to the lower management. Okay, how the line manager and the HR manager difference is that line manager means maybe operation manager, maybe sales manager, right? Line manager, the simple term. If you tell them sales manager, what he'll be his focus will he'll be focused on sales, and he will keep the people on the least priority. And as an HR manager, he'll keep the people on the first priority. You getting me? That is the core difference. He is an operation manager. What his target is, get the operations of the company done, work done. And at the end, if he have time, or he can, okay, fine, he's not well, he's not getting motivated, he's not. That is the least thing comes on the line manager. But as an HR manager, he thinks first about the people. What are the issues, the problems, demotivation, what are the things? This is how the difference is. Satisfied? Any other question?
So, any other question? If there is no question, I have a question. I have
Okay,
basically
please.
2 questions.
Hmm.
So first one is, now we have a policy of, when we talk about HR in companies and corporates, we use more of a term like contract signing.
Okay.
And, like 2 years contract, 3 years contract.
Hmm.
Is there any like legal implications or in Nepal? Because I heard that even though when we sign contract, that really doesn't matter. So is that true? or-
Okay. What happens is that, as I mentioned already, the law to that context is not very strong in context to Nepal, but it is always better to be safe. Okay. Now, if you hire someone for a, that is called not contract staff, that is called project staff. You hired them for a project, and in the contract, it's clearly written in the that you have been hired for so and so position, for so and so this role. After this, and if you able to, if you want to continue, then your contract will be renewed. That means for after in 2019 the contract is getting over, then it will be renewed. Have to mention. And as per the Nepal context, if you hire someone as a full-time employee, that is not a project staff. If you hire a full-time employee, as per the law, after 6 months you have to make him permanent. So while recruiting, you have to give your words very wisely.
And at the same time, what really happens is that we always say that a rotten tomato makes the other tomato also rot, something like that.
Yes.
So what really happens is when we, there's one of the, like in a huge group of individuals, if the one individual is completely totally against like organizing everything, and that, that transports the same kind of mentality to other individuals. So how can we really handle that?
Okay, see, there are in HR term we called it weed out. Okay, so what weed out? So in that, that is a completely low performance, completely who have, whatever you do, you give him the best, he'll always have some negativity about the company, about the people, and basically who are there who have been very long associated with the company, and basically who cannot make it somewhere else. Otherwise, if they don't like, if I'm telling my employee, I know you won't be able to do this job, you are stupid. Just asking himself, if he knows he cannot do the job, why he assigned him? Who is stupid then? Okay, these kind of people are actually always in the negative side of the company. What can be done is that proper counseling to them, understand the issues. Maybe they are not satisfied with the salary. Maybe if you're giving some benefit extra to him or her and you're not giving to him, you have to measure how effective his or her performance is. What are whether that guy is really frustrated because of some issue. Maybe what happens, there's sometimes issues not with the company, with some people, maybe with the boss, with some colleagues, that happens. So you have to have a very and these kind of people who always have negative, you have to handle them very sensitively. You have to take them in a proper charge and counsel them what went wrong, and always try to build a rapport with them. The vibes, if I'm telling, oh my friend, I'm very happy, and the vibes pass to you, and you tell me, yes Bharat, tell me why you're happy. If I tell you like this, yeah, I'm very sad today, and the vibes I pass to you, and it happens. See, I'm passing you the vibe. So the HR role is you passing them the vibe. At the end, if there is no solution, there's the word called termination. That is different thing. But there's always, you have to give some time to them, and counseling is very important. We counsel people a lot. Sometimes they feel that as an HR or as a company, we are, we have been not using our authority properly. So we never see, HR is no one's friend, no one's enemy. We are bounded with the processes and systems and policies. But at the best part of HR is that we are people oriented, not system oriented. Systems come later. For us, people come first. And as I mentioned already, there are emotions running inside a human. And the first example I gave you, this laptop, and I cannot. That man, even if he left, he will say negative of the company outside. So you have to give a proper counsel. Take them in confidence. See what went wrong. What are the issues? Step by step. Then only it will. Yeah.
You mentioned earlier, like if you hire some people for more than 6 months for full time, if they should get permanent, it is like applied to all the offices or.
See, normally what happens, it has been as per the law it says, but in context to Nepal, there are many who are not yet permanent. So,
Months or years?
6 months, months. As per the,
Years and you get permanent, that is a very.
yeah, 6 months is something when as per the normal law, you after this month, then you have to measure his performance and get him into provident fund and other.
Does it apply to all the companies?
Yeah, normally it applies. And many of the companies, they don't follow, but actually this is how it works. After 6 months, you keep him as a probation. Probation period is wherein the company is not making you permanent. They will see your performance, attitude, your timings, attendance, everything. Then they make you permanent. And in other companies, like in CG Group, it's like 8 months. They have 8 months. So it differs. But as per law says, the 6 months have to be. Any other questions?
In many production houses, there comes some cases like the superior level staff do not teaches and give the technicalities to the lower level staff, because they have the fear that if my lower level staff knows all the technicals, then they will be at the same level of me, and my job position will be.
No, see, that is how the HR differs. I'll tell you how. If you have actually listened to my that session, succession planning, succession planning is all about developing future leaders. Getting me? For example, as an HR, what we have to, we promote internally. The manager, if he's a manager, yesterday he was a assistant, now he's a manager. But if there's after manager, there is other positions. If he wants to go high, he have to hand over to someone. He cannot be at the two place. And developing the succession planning is all about developing them, making them a good decision maker, good planner, and good controlling. These are the skills which have been developed in that is succession planning. And that is where the HR plays an important role, where they bridge the gap. You show him also the career growth and well as your junior.
So any other questions? So I think by this,
Can you just next slide? So so after this also, if you have some queries, you can always get back to me. You can, if you think going home, this is where you get stuck for HR related, you can, my phone number is there, my email ID is there, my Facebook ID is there. So you can always reach to me for any queries. Okay?
so I'm sure that all you feel like is that you might not have so many queries, but when you implement and when you get like more knowledge, then you'll have some of the queries. And I think he has given you the numbers and everything. You can definitely contact him. Bharatji, thank you so much for coming and sharing your ideas, and I'm sure that it was very productive for everyone. These videos will also be shared to all the participants, and I'm sure that they will enjoy a lot, at the same time learn much from this presentation and everything. I personally could not attend the whole session, but
sure.
yet through question and answer I have learned some of the ideas. I will also definitely contact you if there is any question, if
Okay.
that's not a problem.
No issues.
So we have a small token of love or
Okay.
appreciation for your effort and time.
Okay,
that
now
you
it's
have
changed.
spent.
Every time I used to get, okay, now it's
Yes,
big
so
change.
this is changed. So
Okay.
Thank you so much
Okay.
for
Thank you
coming.
so much. Okay. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much for coming.
And I for this event, I can take this home, right?
Yes.
Okay. And this Miss Naina has actually contributed. She was so excited. I would like to thank her, the entire team of Microsoft, who have doing a wonderful job by keeping this events and on knowledge sharing issues. I'm being a privilege to part of this Microsoft since last 1 year. So it is like a very, like Alan sir is also very close, and he's been a very good figure to us. Be in touch if any issues related to HR. You can please contact me. Thank you, and have a good day.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye.